When the judge and Amber Heard's lawyer had to kindly urge Amber to stop talking and only respond to Camille's questions since the situation had gotten out of hand, Amber irritated the judge, and an embarrassing moment occurred. The one where the judge, who was the most significant person in the room, ended up reprimanding Amber. Of course, this wasn't the first occasion when the judge made it plain that she was tired of having to deal with Amber Heard's tantrums. What specifically did she tell her, and what was Amber's response? Stay to avoid missing any of the nuances of this unpleasant situation. As the final witness, Heard gave testimony a second time. She was questioned about other witnesses who gave testimony in Depp's case and contested her version of events. Heard said she was not surprised by the number of people who agreed to speak for him. "I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power," Heard testified. "That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking about that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men." Depp filed a $50 million lawsuit against Heard, claiming that her 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post, in which she described herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse, defamed him and cost him his job. Heard countersued for $100 million in damages for slander. "I am harassed, humiliated, threatened every single day. Even just walking into this courtroom, sitting here in front of the world, having the worst parts of my life, things I've lived through used to humiliate me," Heard testified. "People want to kill me, and they tell me so every day. People want to put my baby in the microwave, and they tell me that?" Heard talked about the effect the allegations that her abuse claims were false had on her life in her closing remarks to the jury. "Johnny promised me he would ruin me, that he'd ruin my career, he'd take my life from me. Death was the only way out," Heard said. "And if I got out, this is what he would do to me. He would make me think of him every single day. He promised me global humiliation. You saw those texts." We outline Amber's most memorable quotes, as well as how she got into a predicament where the judge reprimanded her. Heard claimed Depp assaulted and mistreated her repeatedly while she was testifying, and her descriptions of the incidents were frequently detailed. She also talked about how they met and how their relationship progressed. The first time Heard met Depp, she described it as strange and remarkable. Heard claimed she went to Depp's office to test out for a movie he was making, but it actually evolved into a lengthy conversation where they connected over poetry, music, and literature. Even though she didn't consider Depp to be a fan, she acknowledged him as one of the most well-known actors in the world, so she thought it was interesting. Here is one of the many contradictions in the actress's testimony because Amber was a fan of Johnny Depp, and there is even an interview that supports this claim. "So it was already a weird thing to go and get called in his office. I'm a no-name actor," she said. "I was 22, I think. I thought it was unusual. It was weird because he was twice my age and a world-famous actor, and here we are getting along about obscure books and old blues. I thought it was remarkable. I thought it was unusual and remarkable. I left there feeling like, wow." But remember, that was not what she said the first time. Another fascinating account. A photo of a bruise on Heard's arm was presented, which he said was created by Depp during a previous violent argument. In court, a photo of a bruise on Heard's arm was revealed, and she described the incident that allegedly caused it, alleging that Depp smacked her and that walking away made things worse. "We got into a shouting match, and he kind of did this thing with his body where I could tell he was going to hit me again," she said. Heard claimed she picked up a vase and hurled it at Depp. "And I actually managed to get away before he got me. He grabbed me by the arm and he kind of held me on the floor, screaming at me. I don't remember how many times he hit me in the face, but I remember being on the floor of my apartment and I remember thinking, how could this happen to me again?" she said. Her weird stories continued, leaving us perplexed because Heard claimed Depp was this other thing that was terrible, yet Depp was the love of her life. And that other thing was awful, this awful thing that would come out and take over. And it was, you couldn't see underneath the Johnny I loved, Heard said. Depp, she claimed, would pass out in his vomit, lose control of his body, and have others clean up after him, including her. "I mean, this man lost control of his bowels and I cleaned up after him. His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me. He would pass out in his own sick," she said. Heard went on to say that Depp would get clean and sober before returning to make her feel loved. Heard considered leaving Depp, but was unable to do so. "When Johnny was in that period of getting clean and sober, he would tell me, 'You saved my life. Baby girl, you saved my life,'" she stated. According to Heard, Depp allegedly threatened to kill her. Heard asserts that Depp got into a physical altercation with her and threatened to effing kill her when he thought she informed his kids he was a drunk during a family holiday on a yacht. Heard claimed that she had not mentioned Depp's drinking with Lily Rose, Depp's daughter, but he accused her of doing so and was furious. So I was trying to tell him. I was trying to comfort her. I was trying to protect you. He basically was accusing me of doing this thing and making them aware that he was drinking again. And he slams me up against the side wall of the bedroom, slams me up by my neck and holds me there for a second, and tells me that he could effing kill me, Heard said. She claimed that Depp's alleged remark that she was an embarrassment hurt her more than the alleged threat. He said, "I'm an embarrassment to him, and it strangely remained in my head more than the 'I can effing murder you,'" she said. "And I'm in love with this whole family now." It just sounded like hyperbole, sounded like something he was just saying, but the names he was calling me and pushing me up against the wall by my neck, it hurt. It hurt my feelings. It hurt. Finally, she explained how they met and fell in love. At the start of their relationship, Heard described romantic encounters with Depp. "I remember he took the foil off of this bottle and put it on my ring finger," she said. "And I had only been with him days, maybe it was weeks at the time, but it just felt very intense." Amber tried to dodge questions and some comments from Johnny's attorney during her testimony, and she even veered from the questions and answers she was asked to provide, some of which were as straightforward as yes or no, leading to Camille's explosive outburst.
Even though I had given Johnny's team notice that I was filing the TRO,
Your Honor, this is not
we had no reason to believe the press knew.
And Your Honor, I would also ask that you instruct the witness to please stop talking once I lodge an objection.
Your Honor, she's trying to answer the question as best she can, and Ms. Vasquez is misrepresenting to her what she testified to.
Well, I'll strike the last part as non-responsive. Just if you could just answer the questions asked, okay?
This was perceived as Amber avoiding questions and comments that did not suit her. Camille grew tired of the actress's impoliteness and requested that the judge accept the conversation's natural flow, in addition to asking the actress to respond to her inquiries. The judge, however, became frustrated and chose to urge her not only to answer the questions as requested, but also to know your place. You are on the stand. You have no right to deviate from the questions. This left Amber with a very evident truth that she had not appreciated the comment. For the time being, Johnny won out, since it could be proven in court that Amber had physically abused him, which gave him several points in his favor. Penney Ascarati, however, felt that this was a terrible, difficult, and uncomfortable trial. So, how do you feel? Do you believe Amber was truly at fault, or are you on Johnny's side? Please leave your feedback in the sections below, and remember to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future films regarding this contentious trial or your favorite celebrities. Until the next video, take care.